Adoro voar quando viajo a trabalho.
I love to fly when I travel for work. I love to fly when I travel for work.
Ela voará para Nova York para sua reunião de negócios amanhã.
She will fly to New York for her business meeting tomorrow. She will fly to New York for her business meeting tomorrow.
O pássaro pode voar alto acima das nuvens.
The bird can fly high above the clouds. The bird can fly high above the clouds.
Eles decidiram voar para Paris nas férias.
They decided to fly to Paris for their vacation. They decided to fly to Paris for their vacation.
Eu nunca voei de avião antes.
I've never flown on a plane before. I've never flown on a plane before.
Ele voa frequentemente para seu trabalho como consultor.
He flies frequently for his job as a consultant. He flies frequently for his job as a consultant.
O avião está prestes a voar sobre as montanhas.
The airplane is about to fly over the mountains. The airplane is about to fly over the mountains.
Nós voaremos para o Japão no próximo verão para uma viagem cultural.
We will fly to Japan next summer for a cultural trip. We will fly to Japan next summer for a cultural trip.
Ela quer voar para o Caribe para umas férias relaxantes.
She wants to fly to the Caribbean for a relaxing holiday. She wants to fly to the Caribbean for a relaxing holiday.
Ele aprendeu a voar quando era adolescente.
He learned to fly when he was a teenager. He learned to fly when he was a teenager.
O helicóptero sobrevoou a cidade para fornecer ajuda de emergência.
The helicopter flew over the city to provide emergency aid. The helicopter flew over the city to provide emergency aid.
Vimos um avião voar pelo céu durante nosso piquenique.
We saw a plane fly across the sky during our picnic. We saw a plane fly across the sky during our picnic.
A borboleta voa de flor em flor.
The butterfly flies from flower to flower. The butterfly flies from flower to flower.
Ela vai voar para Londres para uma conferência na próxima semana.
She's going to fly to London for a conference next week. She's going to fly to London for a conference next week.
Eu sempre fico animado quando voo para um novo país.
I always feel excited when I fly to a new country. I always feel excited when I fly to a new country.
Eles voaram para a ilha para comemorar seu aniversário.
They flew to the island to celebrate their anniversary. They flew to the island to celebrate their anniversary.
Ele quer voar um drone no parque esta tarde.
He wants to fly a drone in the park this afternoon. He wants to fly a drone in the park this afternoon.
O avião está pronto para voar para seu próximo destino.
The plane is ready to fly to its next destination. The plane is ready to fly to its next destination.
Eu não posso acreditar o quão rápido o avião pode voar.
I can't believe how fast the plane can fly. I can't believe how fast the plane can fly.
Ele voou para a reunião apenas para assinar um contrato.
He flew to the meeting just to sign a contract. He flew to the meeting just to sign a contract.
O avião voa em alta altitude para evitar turbulência.
The airplane flies at a high altitude to avoid turbulence. The airplane flies at a high altitude to avoid turbulence.
Eles voaram de Chicago para Los Angeles em apenas algumas horas.
They flew from Chicago to Los Angeles in just a few hours. They flew from Chicago to Los Angeles in just a few hours.
Preciso voar para o escritório de um cliente em outra cidade amanhã.
I need to fly to a client's office in another city tomorrow. I need to fly to a client's office in another city tomorrow.
Ela sempre quis voar sobre o Grand Canyon.
She has always wanted to fly over the Grand Canyon. She has always wanted to fly over the Grand Canyon.
O pássaro voa para o sul no inverno para se aquecer.
The bird flies south for the winter to stay warm. The bird flies south for the winter to stay warm.
Eles puderam voar de primeira classe em sua viagem para a Ásia.
They were able to fly first class on their trip to Asia. They were able to fly first class on their trip to Asia.
Vou voar para ver minha família durante as férias.
I'll fly to see my family during the holidays. I'll fly to see my family during the holidays.
Ele viu o avião voar em direção ao horizonte.
He watched the airplane fly off into the horizon. He watched the airplane fly off into the horizon.
Ela aprendeu a pilotar um pequeno avião como hobby.
She learned how to fly a small plane as a hobby. She learned how to fly a small plane as a hobby.
Planejamos voar para fora do país em nossa lua de mel.
We plan to fly out of the country for our honeymoon. We plan to fly out of the country for our honeymoon.
Ele voa há mais de 10 anos como piloto profissional.
He's been flying for over 10 years as a professional pilot. He's been flying for over 10 years as a professional pilot.
A águia voa com grande força e graça.
The eagle flies with great strength and grace. The eagle flies with great strength and grace.
Voei para o México no mês passado para uma conferência de negócios.
I flew to Mexico last month for a business conference. I flew to Mexico last month for a business conference.
Eles estão planejando voar para a Itália para uma aula de culinária.
They are planning to fly to Italy for a cooking class. They are planning to fly to Italy for a cooking class.
Mal posso esperar para voar para a praia para um fim de semana relaxante.
I can't wait to fly to the beach for a relaxing weekend. I can't wait to fly to the beach for a relaxing weekend.
Vimos uma estrela cadente voar no céu noturno.
We saw a shooting star fly across the night sky. We saw a shooting star fly across the night sky.
Ele queria voar sobre o oceano, mas tinha medo de altura.
He wanted to fly over the ocean, but was afraid of heights. He wanted to fly over the ocean, but was afraid of heights.
Ela voará para casa depois de terminar seus estudos no exterior.
She will fly home after finishing her studies abroad. She will fly home after finishing her studies abroad.
Preciso voar para o casamento do meu amigo em outro estado.
I need to fly to my friend's wedding in another state. I need to fly to my friend's wedding in another state.
Os pássaros voam em bandos durante a temporada de migração.
The birds fly in flocks during the migration season. The birds fly in flocks during the migration season.
Eles voam para diferentes países para explorar novas culturas.
They fly to different countries to explore new cultures. They fly to different countries to explore new cultures.
Ela sempre voa com seus animais de estimação quando viaja.
She always flies with her pets when she travels. She always flies with her pets when she travels.
Nós voamos para a cidade para uma escapada de fim de semana.
We flew to the city for a weekend getaway. We flew to the city for a weekend getaway.
O avião voará por 6 horas antes de chegar ao seu destino.
The airplane will fly for 6 hours before reaching its destination. The airplane will fly for 6 hours before reaching its destination.
Não acredito o quão rápido o avião pode voar.
I can't believe how quickly the plane can fly. I can't believe how quickly the plane can fly.
Ele fez uma viagem para voar sobre as montanhas em um balão de ar quente.
He took a trip to fly over the mountains in a hot air balloon. He took a trip to fly over the mountains in a hot air balloon.
Eles voaram para a ilha remota para um retiro tranquilo.
They flew to the remote island for a peaceful retreat. They flew to the remote island for a peaceful retreat.
O avião está pronto para voar e estaremos a caminho em breve.
The plane is ready to fly, and we'll be on our way soon. The plane is ready to fly, and we'll be on our way soon.
Ela adora voar e explorar novos destinos ao redor do mundo.
She loves to fly and explore new destinations around the world. She loves to fly and explore new destinations around the world.
Ele está nervoso porque esta é a primeira vez que voa.
He's nervous because this is his first time flying. He's nervous because this is his first time flying.
Eles voaram sobre o deserto a caminho da cidade.
They flew over the desert on their way to the city. They flew over the desert on their way to the city.
O piloto aprendeu a voar depois de muitos anos de treinamento.
The pilot learned to fly after many years of training. The pilot learned to fly after many years of training.
Ela mal pode esperar para voar para seu local de férias favorito.
She can't wait to fly to her favorite vacation spot. She can't wait to fly to her favorite vacation spot.
Os pássaros voarão de volta para o norte quando o tempo esquentar.
The birds will fly back north once the weather warms up. The birds will fly back north once the weather warms up.
Eu tive que voar pelo país para uma reunião de trabalho urgente.
I had to fly across the country for an urgent work meeting. I had to fly across the country for an urgent work meeting.
Ele planeja voar para as montanhas para uma viagem de esqui neste inverno.
He plans to fly to the mountains for a ski trip this winter. He plans to fly to the mountains for a ski trip this winter.
Eu sempre sinto uma sensação de liberdade quando voo.
I always feel a sense of freedom when I fly. I always feel a sense of freedom when I fly.
O céu estava limpo e podíamos ver os pássaros voando alto.
The sky was clear, and we could see the birds fly high above. The sky was clear, and we could see the birds fly high above.
Ele voará para a conferência para apresentar sua pesquisa.
He will fly to the conference to present his research. He will fly to the conference to present his research.
Eles pegaram um voo para chegar ao destino mais rápido.
They took a flight to get to their destination faster. They took a flight to get to their destination faster.
Preciso voar de volta para casa para visitar meus pais.
I need to fly back home to visit my parents. I need to fly back home to visit my parents.
Ele está voando para uma cidade diferente a cada semana para seu trabalho.
He's flying to a different city every week for his job. He's flying to a different city every week for his job.
Adoro ver os pássaros voando no céu durante o pôr do sol.
I love watching the birds fly in the sky during sunset. I love watching the birds fly in the sky during sunset.
Ela voa para a cidade todo mês para fins comerciais.
She flies to the city every month for business purposes. She flies to the city every month for business purposes.
Eles decidiram voar para o Havaí para seu aniversário.
They decided to fly to Hawaii for their anniversary. They decided to fly to Hawaii for their anniversary.
Ele queria empinar uma pipa na praia durante suas férias.
He wanted to fly a kite on the beach during his vacation. He wanted to fly a kite on the beach during his vacation.
Eu sempre quis voar em um jato particular.
I've always wanted to fly in a private jet. I've always wanted to fly in a private jet.
O avião voará a uma altitude de cruzeiro de 35 mil pés.
The airplane will fly at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. The airplane will fly at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet.
Tenho que voar para um país diferente para uma conferência no ano que vem.
I have to fly to a different country for a conference next year. I have to fly to a different country for a conference next year.
O piloto se certificou de que tudo estava em ordem antes de começarem a voar.
The pilot made sure everything was in order before they began to fly. The pilot made sure everything was in order before they began to fly.
Vou voar para ver meus primos nas férias de verão.
I'll fly to see my cousins over the summer break. I'll fly to see my cousins over the summer break.
Eles decidiram voar para um destino exótico para sua lua de mel.
They decided to fly to an exotic destination for their honeymoon. They decided to fly to an exotic destination for their honeymoon.
Fiquei nervoso quando vi o avião voar tão alto no céu.
I was nervous when I saw the plane fly so high in the sky. I was nervous when I saw the plane fly so high in the sky.
Ela voa sozinha em suas aventuras de viagem há anos.
She's been flying solo on her travel adventures for years. She's been flying solo on her travel adventures for years.
Mal posso esperar para voar para as ilhas para umas férias relaxantes.
I can't wait to fly to the islands for a relaxing vacation. I can't wait to fly to the islands for a relaxing vacation.
O drone vai sobrevoar a floresta para capturar algumas imagens.
The drone is going to fly over the forest to capture some footage. The drone is going to fly over the forest to capture some footage.
Vimos um bando de pássaros voando pelo campo.
We saw a flock of birds fly across the field. We saw a flock of birds fly across the field.
Ele voará para uma ilha tropical para descansar e relaxar.
He will fly to a tropical island for some rest and relaxation. He will fly to a tropical island for some rest and relaxation.
Quero aprender a pilotar um avião no futuro.
I want to learn how to fly a plane in the future. I want to learn how to fly a plane in the future.
O avião voará sobre o oceano antes de chegar à costa.
The plane will fly over the ocean before reaching the coast. The plane will fly over the ocean before reaching the coast.
Eles decidiram voar para um aeroporto diferente para evitar as multidões.
They decided to fly into a different airport to avoid the crowds. They decided to fly into a different airport to avoid the crowds.
O avião estava pronto para voar, e os passageiros estavam animados.
The plane was ready to fly, and the passengers were excited. The plane was ready to fly, and the passengers were excited.
Eu tive que voar para a reunião, pois era a única opção para chegar na hora.
I had to fly to the meeting as it was the only option to be on time. I had to fly to the meeting as it was the only option to be on time.
O avião voará sem escalas até o destino.
The plane will fly non-stop to the destination. The plane will fly non-stop to the destination.
Ela teve a oportunidade de voar em um balão de ar quente durante suas férias.
She had the opportunity to fly in a hot air balloon during her vacation. She had the opportunity to fly in a hot air balloon during her vacation.
Prefiro voar em um avião menor quando viajo para áreas remotas.
I prefer to fly on a smaller plane when traveling to remote areas. I prefer to fly on a smaller plane when traveling to remote areas.
O pássaro pode voar por longas distâncias sem parar.
The bird can fly across long distances without stopping. The bird can fly across long distances without stopping.
Eles voaram para o resort de montanha para uma viagem de esqui.
They flew to the mountain resort for a ski trip. They flew to the mountain resort for a ski trip.
Ele estava animado para voar pela primeira vez na vida.
He was excited to fly for the first time in his life. He was excited to fly for the first time in his life.
Eu vi o avião voar pelo céu durante o pôr do sol.
I watched the airplane fly across the sky during the sunset. I watched the airplane fly across the sky during the sunset.
Nós voamos para a Europa para férias em família neste verão.
We flew to Europe for a family vacation this summer. We flew to Europe for a family vacation this summer.
Ela queria voar sobre a cidade à noite para ver as luzes de cima.
She wanted to fly over the city at night to see the lights from above. She wanted to fly over the city at night to see the lights from above.
Fiquei emocionada em voar para um novo país e explorar sua cultura.
I was thrilled to fly to a new country and explore its culture. I was thrilled to fly to a new country and explore its culture.
O avião está programado para voar para um grande centro internacional.
The plane is set to fly to a major international hub. The plane is set to fly to a major international hub.
Adoro ver aviões voando no céu enquanto estou do lado de fora.
I love watching airplanes fly in the sky while I'm outside. I love watching airplanes fly in the sky while I'm outside.
Eles decidiram voar em vez de dirigir para sua viagem ao litoral.
They decided to fly instead of driving for their trip to the coast. They decided to fly instead of driving for their trip to the coast.
Ele pilota aviões há muitos anos e é um piloto experiente.
He has been flying planes for many years and is an experienced pilot. He has been flying planes for many years and is an experienced pilot.
Vamos voar para a cidade e pegar um táxi para o nosso hotel.
We will fly into the city and take a taxi to our hotel. We will fly into the city and take a taxi to our hotel.
O pássaro voou para longe assim que nos viu chegando.
The bird flew away as soon as it saw us coming. The bird flew away as soon as it saw us coming.
Quero voar para diferentes países e aprender sobre suas culturas.
I want to fly to different countries and learn about their cultures. I want to fly to different countries and learn about their cultures.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and stay tuned for the upcoming episodes to keep improving your English. And remember, listening, practice, and improve.